Hi, today, we are going to talk about one of Taiwan's most wanted gunmen, Lin Lai-Fu. Lin Lai-Fu was a notorious Taiwanese gangster and one of Taiwan's most infamous fugitives. Nicknamed Lei, or Ghost's Nightmare, he was a key figure in organized crime during the late 1980s. Between 1986 and 1990, Lin led a criminal syndicate responsible for multiple offenses, including extortion, kidnapping, robbery, and murder. His crimes were linked to at least 28 deaths, making him one of Taiwan's most feared criminals. Due to his brutal methods, he was listed as Taiwan's most wanted fugitive and ranked at the top of the country's 10 most wanted gunmen list. On November 16, 1990, Lin was finally arrested in Taika. In May 1991, he was sentenced to death for multiple crimes, including murder. Knowing that his execution was imminent, he made a special request to Taiwan's Ministry of Justice to marry his girlfriend, Dao, with whom he had 2 children. The wedding took place inside the Taikang Detention Center in July 1991. Just 19 days later, he was executed by firing squad at the same facility. Lin Lai-Fu's criminal career and execution had a significant impact on Taiwanese society, marking one of the most notorious crime cases in Taiwan's history. Early life and background. Lin Lai-Fu was born on August 13, 1959, in Chiayi City, Taiwan. Growing up in a poverty-stricken environment, he had a difficult childhood with little access to education and few opportunities for a stable future. Instead of following a conventional path, Lin was drawn into street life, where he was exposed to gang culture at a young age. By his teenage years, Lin had already started engaging in petty crimes such as theft, extortion, and street fighting. He was known for his quick temper, ruthless nature, and a willingness to resort to violence to get what he wanted. Unlike many young criminals who worked under senior gang leaders, Lin preferred to operate independently, making him a feared and unpredictable figure in the criminal underworld. Rise in the criminal underworld. During the 1980s, Taiwan was struggling with a surge in gang-related violence. At the time, the country had many different criminal factions, ranging from small street gangs to powerful triads controlling illegal businesses such as gambling, drugs, and prostitution. Lin Lai-Fu took full advantage of this chaotic environment to establish himself as a dominant figure in organized crime. He started his own gang, recruiting a group of violent and loyal followers who specialized in armed robbery, extortion, kidnapping, and contract killings. His reputation quickly grew due to his extreme brutality. He did not just kill his enemies, but often made their deaths slow and painful as a warning to others. One of his most infamous methods of execution was forcing rival gang leaders to drink a deadly cocktail of alcohol and poison, ensuring that they died in agony. This ruthless approach struck fear into both his enemies and his own men, solidifying his authority. By the late 1980s, Lin Lai-Fu had established himself as one of Taiwan's most feared criminals. He was linked to at least 28 murders and countless other violent crimes. As his power grew, so did his arrogance. He believed that the police could never catch him, becoming Taiwan's most wanted man. Lin's increasing notoriety made him a high-priority target for Taiwanese law enforcement. The police had been tracking him for years, but he was highly elusive. He frequently changed hideouts, moved between different cities, and used bribery to avoid capture. However, by 1990, Lin had become too dangerous to ignore. His name was placed at the top of Taiwan's 10 most wanted gunmen list, making him the country's #1 fugitive. The police launched a large-scale manhunt, determined to bring him to justice. The capture of Lin Lai-Fu. Lin's downfall came on November 16, 1990, when police received a tip-off about his whereabouts in Taikang City. A specialized unit was assembled to storm his hideout. When officers arrived, Lin attempted to resist arrest but was quickly overpowered. Given his violent past, the authorities took no chances. He was heavily restrained and taken into custody under tight security. His capture was a major victory for Taiwanese law enforcement, making headlines across the country. Trial and sentencing. In May 1991, Lin Lai-Fu was put on trial for multiple crimes, including 2 counts of murder punishable by the death penalty, 1 count of life imprisonment, an additional 31 years of fixed-term imprisonment. The evidence against him was overwhelming, and given the sheer scale of his crimes, there was no possibility for a reduced sentence. The court swiftly sentenced him to death by execution. Final days and his unusual wedding request. After receiving the death sentence, Lin made an unusual request. He wanted to marry his longtime girlfriend, Dao, who was pregnant with their second child. The request was controversial, as many people believed that someone guilty of such horrific crimes did not deserve such a privilege. However, after deliberation, the Taiwanese Ministry of Justice granted his request, seeing it as a final wish before execution. In July 1991, Lin and Dao held a small wedding ceremony inside Taiwan Detention Center. The event was emotional. Lin, who had shown no remorse for his crimes, reportedly broke down in tears as he exchanged vows with his bride. Despite his violent past, he had a deep attachment to his family, execution, and death. Just 19 days after his wedding, on July 25, 1991, Lin Lai-Fu was taken to the execution site at Taiwan Detention Center. He was executed by firing squad, ending his reign of terror once and for all. Unlike many criminals who plead for their lives in their final moments, Lin reportedly accepted his fate without resistance. His execution was widely covered in the media, marking the end of one of Taiwan's most infamous crime stories. Legacy and impact on Taiwanese society. Lin Lai-Fu's criminal career left a lasting impact on Taiwan. His case exposed the growing problem of gang violence and lawlessness in the country during the 1980s and early 1990s. His notoriety led to harsher laws against organized crime and increased efforts by law enforcement to crack down on criminal syndicates. Even today, his story is frequently referenced in discussions about Taiwanese crime history. While some see him as a product of a broken system, most view him as a ruthless killer who got the punishment he deserved. Regardless of perspective, Lin Lai-Fu remains one of Taiwan's most infamous criminals, and his legacy serves as a chilling reminder of the dark side of the underworld. Conclusion: Lin Lai-Fu's life was a tragic tale of crime, violence, and ultimately, justice. From his humble beginnings in Chiayi to becoming Taiwan's most feared gangster, he built his reputation through ruthless tactics and a complete disregard for human life. His rise in the underworld was fueled by extreme violence, making him one of the most notorious criminals in Taiwanese history. Despite his attempts to evade capture, law enforcement finally caught up with him, leading to his swift conviction and execution. His unusual request to marry his longtime girlfriend before his death added a humanizing yet ironic twist to his story, showing that even the most hardened criminals can have personal attachments. However, his legacy is not one of admiration, but rather a cautionary tale of how unchecked crime can spiral out of control. His case served as a wake-up call for Taiwan, prompting stricter measures against organized crime and setting an example for future law enforcement efforts. In the end, Lin Lai-Fu's fate was a testament to the inevitability of justice. No matter how powerful or feared a criminal becomes, the law will always catch up. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this content, please leave a like, share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching.